Now, it's my great honor to introduce our speaker. Kristen Ishihara has been a practicing attorney in Longview, Texas since 2006. She graduated from Baylor Law School with honors and lives in Longview with her husband Richard and 2 children, Lucas and Brianna. Kristen was elected to the Longview City Council as a representative for District 4 in 2014. She is a past president of the Junior League of Longview, the Zonta Club of Longview, and the Gregg County Bar Association. She is a founding member of the East Texas Alzheimer's Alliance, Longview Pause, the Longview Community Foundation, and the Greater Longview Estate Planning Council. She's a busy, busy lady. Please help me welcome our mayor, Kristen Ishihara.
Thank you, Lori. I'm so glad to be here. You may not know, Lori is my next door, very next door neighbor, and I noticed she did not put best next door neighbor on the list. So next time, thank you all so much for being here. I am truly honored and humbled that you are attending today and for the opportunity to serve as your mayor of the great city of Longview. Is this anybody's first state of the city? First in attendance, not that many. Oh, well, y'all know what you should be expecting then. So this is my first time, of course, to present. I've only been the mayor for 6 months, and so we're just going to learn together and dive right in. You may have noticed that apparently at the state of the city, they reserve a spot for the mayor up front. Didn't know that, so parked in the back, and but I am here. I am here, obviously. That spot is empty, but I am here. The first thing I'd like to do today is to introduce and celebrate our Longview City Council. We have a lot of new members and a lot of us that are getting to know each other, and I want to celebrate individually everybody's contributions. And I want to, of course, remind everybody here that your city council person is sacrificing their time with family, with a job for an unpaid volunteer position to serve in that role to make Longview better. And every single one of them is there because their heart is in making Longview the very best place to live. So I'd like to introduce them to you today. First up, Derek Conley. Derek is District 1, and Derek is an assistant superintendent at Pine Tree. He is an avid advocate for children and brings that perspective to every discussion that we have, and I appreciate that very much. Pine Tree is an excellent partner in all city and community events. I think you guys had 3 National Night Out parties that Pine Tree hosted. Thank you so much for that investment and participation. Those kind of things make all of us better and our community stronger. Next is Shannon Moore. Shannon is District 2. Shannon hit the ground running, and I want to celebrate her heart. Shannon, at a Broughton event, met 2 children who attended there without their parents. She realized that they needed food and clothing, and she tracked down their home and got them those things. I see your heart, and I celebrate you for that. Shannon also organizes monthly cleanups in her district for litter and neighborhood cleanups. That's something that often city council members end up doing and organizing groups for because they learn about seniors or disabled individuals that just need extra help. So thank you, Shannon. Next is Ray Wade. Ray, you are the calm in the storm, my friend. I don't think it is a secret that City Council for me started a little rocky. We've been getting to know each other, tackling some big issues, and we didn't always get along right there at the beginning. And Ray has been our rock, our backbone, our calm, and I am so grateful for you. Ray also organizes a lot of community events and has upcoming his community Thanksgiving at Broughton. These are all outside of serving on your city council and all the time that takes. These are personal things that these individuals that care so deeply about Longview also do. Next up, John Newstad. John took my seat as the District 4 council person. And one thing I would love to tell you about John is that you cannot hurt John's feelings. You can have an honest, open conversation with John. He will consider your opinion. He will rationalize and debate with you and come to a reasoned opinion. You may recognize this from an exciting project that we refer to as electronic recycling. You may be more familiar with the term biomining, although we'd ask you not to use it. That project is hopefully coming here to Longview soon, and that's because John spent, I would guess, more than 40 hours meeting with individuals who liked the project, who didn't like the project, and he listened to every single concern, found an engineer scientist to answer that concern, and made sure that the project moved forward because Longview is a business-friendly community. Appreciate you, John. Next up, thank you. Yes, biomining, very exciting. Thank you, Dan Droege. Next up, Michelle Gamboa. Michelle is not here yet. She texted 10 minutes ago she'd be here in 5, but I am sure she will be here very shortly. Michelle is an avid supporter of her area. She holds the record for requesting the most proclamations of any city council member ever, and she attends all the events and is glad to be there. So Michelle does a great job of being in the community and being available, and that is one of our very most important jobs as a council member, to be there for you, to be accessible to you, and to be there to have a conversation and advocate for whatever is important to you. So Michelle, I appreciate you too. Next up, Steve Pirtle. I told Steve just a second ago I had to go way back in the archives to find a picture of us together. Steve is finishing up his third 3-year term, and he has been a very avid supporter of police and fire. And Steve, we value that role and appreciate you. I also had forgotten he created, designed, built, and donated this doghouse to support the Longview Animal Care and Adoption Center many years ago. And Steve doesn't always show that side of himself, but he loves Longview and he will advocate for the things he believes in. And while we don't always agree, Steve, I appreciate you. He's shaking his head at me right now, so it's okay. That is our team, and I would like to just tell each of you how much I value all of your contributions. There is no doubt our council is very engaged. We don't always agree, but you wouldn't want us to always agree. That's not our job. What a waste of time that would be if we always agreed. We are coming together to do great things for Longview, and I'm so excited about what that future holds for us. Next up, Longview is strong, so the state of the city that you're here to talk about today, Longview is a strong community because of you, the people that live here. There is no greater asset than any city can have than our people, and I am so proud of the people that live here in Longview. 18 years ago, you welcomed me and allowed me to invest and put down roots, and Longview is just the very best place in the whole world to work, live, raise a family, and just be. So thank you for that. What other community could come together in a month's time and collect 13,365 jars of peanut butter? Thank you. That is really impressive. And I promise I'm not going to just talk about the peanut butter challenge today, but I could actually talk about it for an hour. I was that personally invested. I will point out that Longview had 13,000 jars and Tyler had 2,500 jars. That's right. They beat us on money, but we beat them in heart and soul and just taking care of each other. So good job, guys. I also want to celebrate in October. We had over 90 national night outs. Hey, Michelle, thank you for joining us. In October, we had over 90 national night out parties. That is an awesome opportunity to get to know your neighbors, to make your community stronger by knowing your next door neighbor, by looking out for them, and our businesses, our schools, our neighborhoods participated. It was just an awesome night. I know council had kind of a friendly competition about how many meetings they made it to. I made it to 10, but I was definitely beaten by several others who made it to more than that. But a great way to just participate in the community. Our comprehensive plan was refreshed this year. If you're not familiar with the comprehensive plan, it is our guiding document that we refer to when we think about things that we want to see in Longview and the direction we want to take. It took in a lot of public input and was refreshed recently. You'll be not surprised to know that it still asks for, from our residents, a focus on downtown, the I-20 corridor, entertainment, housing, and redevelopment of some of our buildings that are dilapidated. Our Longview population of 82,000 makes us the 50th largest community in the state. We are projected to be at 90,000 in population by 2040, and our median age is 34. Thought that was interesting. We do have lower than the state average, as it mentions here, in our labor force group, the ages of 35 to 54. And that's something that sometimes you hear people talk about when they're talking about entertainment for younger people, making sure that there's quality of life things. So that's certainly been a focus from the city to make sure that our young folks have a reason to stay, to come back, and to invest their family and their time here in Longview. Next, I do want to celebrate our very first City of Longview Volunteer Fair happened last week. We had over 60 nonprofits that participated, and those were vendors that were there to come out and tell you in a real quick speed dating kind of way, what organizations can you plug into? So the very best thing about folks here in Longview is they are interested in solving problems. So there are problems out there that you can help solve, and I would encourage you, this is going to be an annual event for us. So think about how your organization can participate. In this first year, we had over 200 people attend that were potential volunteers looking to plug in, and I think that's pretty incredible. So thank you to all that participated in that, and we look forward to growing that in the future. Next on the list is celebrating projects and ideas that came from individuals. What I think is just incredible about Longview is you can have an idea and just get a couple more people signed on to help you with that idea, and just a small group of residents and interested people living in the city of Longview can make a dream a reality and change the direction and the course and the progress of Longview. So these are a couple of examples. Arts Longview is a 501c3 nonprofit that was birthed after an inner city chamber trip by some people who had visited Waco and thought, man, it's cool that they do that there. Arts Longview just celebrated their 5th year anniversary. During that time, Arts Longview made Longview a cultural district recognized by the state. There are only a couple of those in the state. And what that allows us to do is apply for state funding. Arts Longview has received more than $1 million in state grants that we would have otherwise not received during that time. And if you think about the transformation of downtown, when I moved here 18 years ago, think about what downtown Longview looked like and what it looks like today. The businesses that have invested there as private individuals wanting to give back and make our downtown vital. And Arts Longview that's come and done murals and invested in electric utility box wrappings and wayward sign finding. There's so many exciting things happening downtown that when you go downtown, it's a vibe now. People live there. There's people any time of the day. So a vibrant community is really looking at your downtown, and I am so proud of the downtown Longview that the people of Longview have created over the last decade. Next on the list is the Sabine River Paddling Trail. Gregg County has approved a plan that will give enhanced access to this river, and we are currently seeking grants to make this a more recreational option to those of us that love the outdoors. Most folks in Longview enjoy our quality of life things like trails and parks and being outside. So the Sabine River is one of those things that we can look forward to enjoying more in the future. Next up is the Greater Longview Optimal Wellness, GLOW. Some of you may be familiar with this, but man, I am extra proud of this one because Longview is really leading the way in this area. Chief Amy Hooten, several years ago, Amy, had an idea about how to better serve some of our residents here in Longview that were using EMS services a lot. And that might be for non-medical reasons. So if I needed transportation, or I needed help with medicine, or maybe I didn't have food, or I needed help with something that maybe a different person could give me, I don't need to be calling 911. I'm better served if I have someone that can help advocate for me in another way. So that helps not only that individual, but also our first responders who can take that individual off of their frequently responded to list and save the taxpayer money. So GLOW is an initiative that brings together several healthcare partners and better serves those individuals in our community that have non-healthcare needs but are relying upon our healthcare system and using those resources in a way that could be better handled. I'm so proud of that. As a result of this partnership, we've received more than $2.3 million in grant funding, and Longview is really teaching other communities about how to partner together to make things like this happen. So we should all be so proud of the efforts that GLOW is doing and will continue to do, and thank you guys for all of your work. This is another one that I am very proud of, and Longview has created this program. It is the first of its kind, and we are again leading the way and showing others in the state how best to do it. The Longview Animal Adoption Care Center was built more than 6 years ago now, but as part of that vision for the city of Longview, that houses our animals that are strays and unwanted pets, but part of the goal was always to come out of the facility and hit preventative measures. So how do we slow down the unwanted pet population? How do we encourage people to spay and neuter their pets? And from that, Longview Paws is a 501c3 organization organized by volunteer individuals that created a Spay It Forward program. With that, if you are interested and willing to have your pet spayed or neutered, you can go to the shelter and get a free voucher and have your pet spayed or neutered for free based on charitable donations from our community. Since this initiative began 2 years ago, more than 2,500 vouchers have been distributed, more than 1,300 pets have been spayed or neutered, and community funding from that is now at $125,000. And we'd like to say a special thank you to Gregg County for yesterday. Commissioners Court voted to approve $45,000 in funding to the Spay It Forward initiative for the residents here. So thank you, Judge, and our commissioners. Next on our list, and I'm so sorry, Judge Stout lovingly reminded me right before I got up here that we refer to this as a parking facility. It's not a parking garage. But we want to thank and celebrate our community partners for their investment in Longview, and this is the first on the list. The Gregg County Parking Facility, coming next year, completed in 2025, will have about 300 parking spaces, be well lit, be secured, and will only just transform downtown Longview such in a way that it'll just project us forward where so many more people can attend events downtown, participate with businesses downtown. So we are so grateful, Judge and Gregg County, for all of your investment in our downtown. That's fantastic. Next on the list to celebrate is our Longview Economic Development Corporation and their partnership with amazing things coming to Longview. I'm going to just list the top three, but there are so many in the last several years that if you think about the investment from business and jobs that has come to Longview, it is really mind-blowing. On our list today is Aon with $68 million in capital investment, bringing 500 jobs to Longview. Komatsu with $104 million in capital investment. And Eastman recently announced their project, $1 billion in capital investment and more than 200 jobs that will be coming to the Longview area. That is community-changing business development that is coming to Longview that will not only support the income and tax base of Longview, but the workforce, and that our census and our population will continue to grow. That's just incredible, and I want to celebrate LEEDCO's work and all that they do. That's been under Wayne Mansfield's leadership. We have been so blessed to have so many projects, and we are very grateful to you. Thank you. I feel like I need to pause now for the applause. I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to do that or not, but thank you guys for participating. With UT Tyler expansion, this is very exciting. I saw UT in the room somewhere. Thank you. We are very grateful for UT Tyler Longview campus with a $10 million expansion coming for their nursing program. They broke ground on that already. Part of the workforce piece for Longview is, of course, higher education, educational programs to keep young people here so that they have the education they need and the jobs that they need. So this is a very important piece of that, and we are very grateful to UT Tyler for investing in Longview. Thank you, guys. Next on the list of thank yous is LeTourneau University, recently announcing a Build with Purpose campaign with $180 million in new facilities being built in Longview. Last week they broke ground on, or I guess just ribbon cut for their track and field facility that will be all indoors. And when we think about that for Longview, that's not just the capital investment, that's the tourism that those sports will bring. That's beautifying a particular area of town that we're so proud of. And I love everything that LeTourneau does, and I just love so much your investment and commitment to Longview. So thank you, LeTourneau, for your participation and partnership. Next on the list is Longview ISD. Want to say thank you to them for a new project that we've recently talked about. Longview ISD had a bond that was approved and included a $41 million natatorium that would be open for use not just to Longview ISD, but also to the community. That would include 20 lanes. And be used also for sports tourism as well as events, but would be something that will look to be open to the community at large, and we appreciate their investment in the community as well. Very important partners. Thank you. And so this one, I know everything I've just said was really important and so important to the development of Longview, but I bet this is your favorite one on the list. So hallelujah, we're getting a fresh. It's coming next year. It's probably the most common question that council people get asked. Can we get an HEB or a fresh? Sure, build one. So I am super excited that Fresh is coming to Longview. That is a long answered prayer. And I will also give you this brag. We visited the Fresh Fate store, Tyler's store. I'm not trash talking Tyler. Tyler's store is 11 years old, and they have updated their model. The model of Fresh that Longview will get is bigger than Tyler and is just like, that's right, and big, just like their Fate store. So when we visited there, you can see what I'm excited about. I took a picture while we were there of their outdoor patio and their meat counter, but very exciting things. And we'll look forward to that opening. But they have outdoor space, outdoor venues. They have a children's playground. It's going to be a great addition there, and we're super excited and grateful that they will be here in Longview shortly. Two entertainment things that I want to highlight that are opening really shortly here. You've probably seen them. One is Cargo over there by Work Smart. We'll have an amphitheater, pickleball courts, and entertainment. They plan to be open in just the next few months before the end of the year. And Film Alley, which is bowling, movies, and other fun things that is going into our old movie theater, will be open in just a few days. So part of the comprehensive plan that I think is so neat is it takes community input and it shows our investors, our developers, what do the Longview residents want and what will they support. And you guys said entertainment, and here you go, there's entertainment coming. Be sure and get out there and support them so we get to keep that entertainment. We appreciate their investment in Longview. Very excited about those things. Thank you, Keith. You don't have to clap every time, it's okay. On the bond projects, I want to give you a couple of updates about those. Longview had a 2018 $104 million bond package that did a lot of infrastructure, public safety, and some parks work. And we are in the process of completing a lot of those projects. One very important one was the renovation of Fire Station 8, and that ribbon cutting, you're all invited to, is taking place Tuesday, November 26th at 2 p.m. So we're very excited about that. Next, you've probably seen the updates to the entryway and Mobberly Complete Streets. So in looking at infrastructure, we are working to make us a more pedestrian-friendly area with beautification of streets, making things more walkable and making them more friendly and inviting to people that come to Longview. We want you to feel a sense of place, and that Longview is a place you are proud to be from, and recruit others to come see you at, because we're so proud of what's happening here in our community. And of course, the new police department building. I advocated for the bond projects at the time, and I would always describe that as putting your money where your mouth is. We love our first responders. Our police and fire are the best anywhere, and we need to treat them with that same respect and show them that we love and appreciate all that they sacrifice for us. And we are excited for them to be in their beautiful building, just what is deserved, and the type of match to the service that we receive. Next on bonds, the fire pension bond from 2022. I just wanted to report to you that prior to the bond, our unfunded liability was infinite, which basically meant that we would be unable to pay firefighters' pension as they retired. That's not really an acceptable situation. So thankfully, with voter approval, there was a $45 million bond that occurred in 2022 that infused that money into the firefighter retirement pension. And now our unfunded liability is lower than 30 years, which is the state requirement, which means that our pension fund will live on and be able to allow our firefighters to receive the retirement and recognition that they deserve. So thank you, voters, for both of those things. Those were important for our community, and I think say a lot about how much we love and respect our first responders. All right. Couple of brags. I don't know if these are humble brags, but just brags. Love Longview is a day that is a work day the community is invited to. Keep Longview Beautiful is an important organization here in Longview that is working to do just what it says, make Longview more beautiful. And Love Longview Day is an opportunity for you as an individual or an organization to plug in and help. If you signed up for Love Longview Day, you can pick up litter, clean up roads. You might be assigned particular house projects. As I mentioned earlier, Longview receives complaints sometimes about individuals that have maybe not the means to keep up their residents if they're seniors and on a fixed income, or maybe they can't keep their yard mowed, or they have a falling down shed. Those are projects that the city of Longview works to connect with volunteer groups, and we are always in need year-round of volunteer groups willing to plug in that way. But one time that we all come together and do it as a community is Love Longview Day, so please put that on your calendar. From 2024, we had 357 volunteers that served, 10 tons of litter that was collected, 14 tons of junk that was hauled, 480 tires that were removed. That is pretty incredible for a day's worth of work. So good job for those that participated, and please come join us next year if you have not ever done that. And then as a result of that, next up is our litter index, which measures how littered is the city of Longview. Well, of course, we want it to be not littered at all. In 2023, we went down from that to 2024 a whole point, which is pretty great. So if you think about driving around the city of Longview, do you notice less litter? I do. I think that that's been borne out by the individuals and groups that are adopting streets, adopting parks, and participating in Keep Longview Beautiful and Love Longview Day. So that's you guys making your community more beautiful and less littered. So good job. Next on the list is, it was actually more fun when you clapped every time, Keith. Thank you. Teague Park. This is very exciting. My predecessor, Dr. Mack, created an idea to open up Teague Park. So this is really his baby that is just coming to fruition now. You'll be not surprised to know that grant funding and government stuff just sometimes takes a while. Teague Park has been recently awarded a $1.3 million grant. We have received support pledged from Gregg County, LEEDCO, and from the Go Giver funds to open up, as you see here, Teague Park to Highway 80 to make it more accessible, more beautiful. You can easily drive by Teague Park on Highway 80 and have no idea of the wonderful Veterans Memorial we have back there, the park, the amphitheater, the pond. There is a lot of great things to see at Teague Park, and if you had never made your way back there, you would have no idea. So we're excited to do that. Thank you to our partners in that endeavor. We appreciate you very much and look forward to making Teague Park more beautiful and more accessible. I also just want to recognize a couple of our departments. Longview created a grants department. Thank you, Laura Hill, for being the director a couple of years ago. And since that department was created, the city of Longview has received and been awarded 38 grants totaling $4.4 million. And that is really just such a good rate of return on your investment, and having great city employees that can look for grants, find ways to bring money to Longview so we can make Longview better and do that as fiscally responsible as we can. So great job. A couple of other just quick brags. We receive a lot of recognition across the state in communications. You might remember a rap video by our own Richard Yakeley talking about City Send. I believe that received several awards. Finance, library, partners in prevention, our planning, police, TML, municipal courts were an Excellence Award finalist. So proud. We have the best employees anywhere, and just so proud of everything that the city of Longview does. There's some of your wayfinding signs that you see now in our cultural district. Pretty cool. Help you identify that you are in the cultural district and give it a bit of a feel and vibe that it didn't previously have, which is pretty great. Next on the list is I want to celebrate the Longview PD. Chief Boone has had an initiative to be more visible in the community, and I have received a lot of comments about how our residents are seeing LPD out there more often. They also had an initiative for traffic enforcement. So we're out there stopping you from running red lights and not speeding. And despite all of that, LPD kept their customer satisfaction rating at very close to a perfect. Chief Boone has this reported to City Council regularly, but I think that's pretty incredible that our LPD out of calls can have wonderful survey responses from a commercial burglary. Very efficient, and we got an almost immediate response. Thanks. I mean, golly, that's awesome. That is fantastic. So I want to celebrate them. I would also like to celebrate Michael Shirley and Development Services. That is one that gets knocked a lot. You hear a lot about Development Services, and here's some things I want you to know about Development Services. They now have an online permit process that can be submitted for building and can be checked online to see how far you are along in the process. And if you are not a builder but want to know what's happening at a particular piece of property in Longview, you can go now to our online permit map and pull up any permits that have been requested from the city of Longview. So if you want to know where Brahms is coming, for example, that's one you always ask about, those are things you can get online now and pull up through our Development Services. So good job, Development Services. We appreciate you. This is one of my favorites. Every City of Longview employee in the last year went through customer service training. I think that's very important, and I appreciate Rollin and Marianne for making that happen. We have 950 employees with the City of Longview, and their job is to serve you the residents and taxpayers of Longview. So treating you with dignity and respect is the most important job that they have, and I appreciate the investment in customer service that we've had from our city admin. Yep. Okay, so that was all the fun stuff. Here's the hard one. So all the brags have happened. This is the challenges that the city of Longview is facing. Like everyone else in government and private business, we are facing budgetary challenges. That comes from increased expenses, that comes from restrictions on our revenue, and just a general overall tough budget year. Will you go back to the last slide? Thank you. I just wanted to point this out because I think it really speaks for itself. In our fiscal 23-24 year that just ended in September, our general operating budget was $95 million. For our upcoming fiscal year, 24 to 25, that started October 1st, our general operating budget is $95 million. I have never, in my 9 years of council, participated in a 100% flat budget. That presents, obviously and immediately, some significant challenges when City Council has valued cost of living increases for employees, has valued some increased services for our residents, has valued roadway maintenance. There are a lot of things that become very hard, and those hard conversations are part of what our team engaged in and worked through, but those are difficult things. And so I just want to be upfront and honest with you. It was a hard budget year. We're hoping and praying that next year will be easier. And I also want to celebrate that City Council, everyone came together and used the savings of about $770,000 that we had from the 23-24 year and gave that to our employees as a one-time bonus for 950 of them. We were unable to do what they deserved to give them a raise, but we do want to acknowledge their service and how much we appreciate them and all that they do. So I was glad we were able to do that and came together to do that. So what's next? Richard told me the other day that our last city council meeting was a record for the longest council meeting that has happened since we started putting on YouTube 8 years ago or something like that. So 2012. 12 years ago. Fantastic. Thank you. Anyway, you guys are always welcome at a council meeting. Those are Facebook Lived, and so you can participate at home if you would prefer. But tomorrow night we have a council meeting, and in the spirit of continuing to address hard things, a couple of things we'll talk about is a recommendation from the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee. You guys probably recall that Longview had a very unfortunate incident where a man was killed as a result of some stray dogs, and that's not something that we want to discard or not take lightly. So the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee has been reviewing changes or recommendations that can be made to keep our residents safe. And some of those that are coming to us for vote tomorrow night include changing the rabies requirement from a 1-year vaccine to a 3-year vaccine. That's state recommended now. Adding a microchip requirement for your pet if you live in the city of Longview, and adding an intact pet permit. What that would mean is if you are a pet owner and have spayed and neutered pets, it would mean probably nothing to you except that you might need to get your pet chipped if they're not. If you do have an intact pet, that would require an annual permit, and that permit would be done through our animal control officers. The goal of that would be to lessen the pet population and the stray dogs that we are currently struggling with, but that will come for vote tomorrow night. We had about 30 people at our last meeting that had comments. So if you have comment, come on. Next, we'll be looking at the Stamper Park pool. Because of our partnership with Longview ISD and the natatorium probably going to hit a lot of programming and race or exercise needs from the facility that they will be building. Probably we'll be able to do a lot of our Learn to Swim programs there and talk briefly about some exciting options, including having Learn to Swim for all school-age kids potentially there. It'd be pretty exciting. So that allows the city with their pool at Stamper Park to focus on recreation. I realize you can't see this super well, but the revised concept that we'll be reviewing tomorrow night includes a big slide, entryway for young kids, and thank you, and a big play feature. So that would allow us to focus on recreation there, and it be the type of water facility that you want to come bring your family to and enjoy with your young ones. So providing that entertainment and those things for young families like you told us you wanted us to. So wrapping up, it's not time to clap yet, thank you, Keith. Wrapping up, the state of the city of Longview is strong because of you that are in this room that contribute and invest in Longview through your time and your talents. And I want to challenge you. I bet that each of you have an idea or a vision that you would like to see happen here in Longview. And maybe that's something you've been sitting on for a while. What I think has been my favorite thing, and I'm just so blessed to see it happen routinely, is Longview individuals get together to solve a problem that they see or a need or something that we can celebrate together. So I want to know what your vision is. I want you to talk to your council person about it. I want you to talk to me about it, and I want us to figure out how to make it happen. And then maybe next year at the State of the City, we can be reporting on that vision that came to a reality because of the time that you took to invest here in Longview. So thank you guys so much for being patient and applauding. At my first State of the City, I'm very grateful to you for the opportunity, and let's go Longview.